The quieter you become, the more you can hear. A very powerful quote by Ram Dass. It reminds me of a Celtic quote that I forgot like a decade ago, unfortunately, and it's something I've been meaning to look up. But I got it when I listened to "The Obstacles Away" by Ryan Holiday, and today I just really want to talk about the power of being alone. Um, really mastering being alone. How it's a strength. You know, um, and I should probably say solitude. How to find strength in solitude. That's what this video is about. My name is Handro the Resilient. Thank you for taking the resilient path with me. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for chilling, hanging out with me, and hopefully I can provide some value to your life. Now, I won't take too much of your time, but this is a video that I've wanted to make and talk about, 5+ years ago. And I know I just started here on YouTube, but it's something that hits close to home. It's something that has made me reflect and just want to talk about it to someone. But it's something that also taught me quite a bit of things. And today I'd like to share those things. Not all of them, just a couple. I like to go over them with you, and hopefully they resonate with you. And if they do, please let me know in the comment section if they do resonate with you, if you've gone through them too. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right. So most people think that being alone means you're losing. And by the way, I'm going to be looking at my notes while I'm over here looking up and down, just so you know. Like you're falling behind. But I'm here to tell you being alone is where I found my strength, right? Again, no noise, no validation, no distractions, just me, myself, and I, my thoughts. Um, Positive thoughts, negative thoughts, they're thoughts. Gets me thinking. If you're in your 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, or early 30s like me, sometimes as fellas we struggle with kind of like just talking about certain things. And number one, that's totally fine. In a previous video that I made, I did talk about how you can't really do things alone. You can't, be that Sigma male or have that lone wolf mentality. But the reality is, this is kind of me sharing um, that how I had my lone wolf mentality and how it in a way, I found strength through it. I'm not totally advocating for it. I just want to share my experience and hopefully share some resources with you that can allow you to look at solitude in a certain way from a different perspective. And by the way, I will have an ebook. Link is in the description below. It's completely free. It's about this video and also some more insights on what you can do to harness the power of solitude. So if you do find value in this video, if you think it's worthy of a subscription, a like, that would totally be appreciated and would also help the algorithm here on YouTube and allow me and the videos get to more people out there in this YouTube universe, as we call it. All right. So, again, like too often we're like just stimulated by different things, different noise, if you want to put it. Especially nowadays with social media, it's a lot. It can be a lot. I've had to really just re-download certain apps for certain occasions and also just eliminate apps for certain occasions. So if that's happened to you, let me know. It could be a lot. But check this out. A 2017 study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Review found that even 15 minutes of intentional solitude a day can lower stress, enhance mental clarity, and improve emotional regulation. that's super interesting. And one of the things I do to really just try and de-stress and try and just get back to ground zero is essentially go on walks by myself. And more often than not, I do have my headphones, but I really try to go without any type of like headphones and not trying to listen to YouTube in the background, because even that, it could be a little bit too much. By the way, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Anyways, what does this mean for you, right? Solitude isn't about hiding; it's about sharpening yourself. You don't need more opinions; you need clarity, which is the main thing. And when you get still, you start to recognize what truly matters and what truly doesn't. So really, just think about some of those patterns that are surfacing in your life. That whether or not, ask yourself, can I control this or can I not? And I think that's super important. But really, it's I always like to think about solitude as taking a step back, widening your scope, and then taking action. Strategic action, by the way, not just any type of action like a reaction. Hopefully that made sense. All right. Now, the second takeaway that I like for you to take away is when you're alone, you find out who you really are, and that's where your power begins. More often than not, I found myself like going out to eat quite often, just by myself. Um, and it really just made me think like, okay, I do enjoy this. I do enjoy that. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, it would have been nice to have someone to go out to eat with or go out on a walk with. That's totally. I think that's human nature, right? Belonging and wanting to feel something. But one thing I found from going out to eat alone by myself or whatever is I initially was embarrassed, and then I just started thinking about it. Why am I embarrassed about this? I'm here. I'm enjoying my food, enjoying my time. Um, I remember I would even befriend strangers, and um, in actuality, like sometimes I would be that individual to be there for someone that I didn't even know. You know, now I'm not saying I would hear and listen to all their problems because that's just too much for even for myself. Like I can't do that, especially as I gotten older, it's quite a bit. But it really just helped me. I stopped feeling embarrassed and I started really feeling like I had the power over just eating by myself. Like this is, a lot of people would want to eat this food, or a lot of people would just want to be able to buy food, or just go out, being able to have a car, right? And so I was able to do that. And I started really just shifting my perspective from that to that. So check this out right here. So research from the University of Massachusetts shows that individuals who embrace solitude tend to have higher self-determination and stronger intrinsic motivation, traits directly linked to long-term success and goal achievement. Um, I want to chuckle because I'm I can tell you right now I'm a perfectionist, but that right there is so true. Um, because when you're by yourself, you think too much, obviously, right? You're thinking about your future, you're thinking about the next 2 years, you're thinking about even the present. And it really makes you think, well, what do I want to change? Is there anything I can change? Um, and what do I want for my future? And honestly, I've kind of like distanced myself from that, and I really want to hone back into that skill because it is a skill. Um, but also like I guess it's not a very negative side, but a negative effect is just being a perfectionist, and that can be a bit dangerous when you're looking at your career, your health. I'll give you an example. Today, I, got up so early, got up around 3:15 in the morning on a Sunday, wanted to hit the gym, big leg day, went to bed pretty early, and I just wasn't able to rest as much as I was able to. And I went to the gym. I did like 2 late workouts, and then I said, you know what, I'm done because there was just something I felt off. I felt off, and so I said, okay, I need to go back and reset. I need to go back and reset. Um, but all the preparation and yes, the determination that goes along with it to prepare myself for getting up on the weekend at 3:15 in the morning. I mean, I have no idea who else does that except for the people that go to the gym. They're there unless they're getting off work. Because it could be a lot. So I really had to just see it from another perspective and just kind of like say, okay, you know what, tomorrow will be the day. Right now, rest day, just relax, and then tomorrow we'll go back at it. So look, in solitude, you stop chasing clout and start chasing calling. So you discover what energizes you, what you'll fight for, and what kind of legacy you want to live, right? And leave. And that's the whole point, really. To my point is it makes you think about what you want 3 years from now, what you want the next day, 10 years from now. And you got to put in that action. It's one thing to think about it, and it's another thing to actually do it. So be mindful of that. Now, look, leadership starts with self discipline, and the only way to develop that is in silence. Solitude forces you to face your inconsistencies, take ownership, and build habits without external praise. And yes, it's uncomfortable, excuse me, but that's exactly how it works. Now, I've always been one to just do things in silence and just like rather, I don't like getting praised. I just like doing the work and showing that I'm doing it and allowing the results to speak for themselves. Now, I've kind of changed my mind about that in a way over the last couple of years, but you know, I mean, sometimes when you're looking at solitude, it can be that way, right? And so check the scientific fact out. So a 2014 study of the Journal of Adolescence found that teens and young adults who were comfortable with solitude had greater resilience, better emotional control, and superior goal setting abilities than their peers. Ooh, that hits. It makes me think about if you know a little bit about me. I'm an only child. I grew up without my father. I would spend a lot of time by myself, and I would just play soccer by myself, and I got really good at it. I mean, I would just dribble the ball quite a bit, do about like uh, I don't know what you call them, but anyways, I would just, I was very good. I was very good at running, very good at track, very good at things that if I put my time in, I would do them. So, but what I'm trying to say is that that's very, very true. So being alone exposes you to your weaknesses and straightens your character. It prepares you for leadership and relationships, business, and life because you are no longer reliant on approval to stay consistent. So where do you lead yourself well? And where are you still waiting for someone else to push you? So you got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. And whether you go along this route, that route, you know, you build that resilience, you get comfortable with the alone or the solitude, um, and just learn how to embrace it. And then you'll find great success. And then, so don't look at it like a punishment, look at it as a reward, right? It's like that saying, in order for you to get that man or woman that you want, you have to become that man or woman. And that's 100% true because you're going to lead, but you have to be a leader to yourself. In conclusion, fellas, solitude is not for the weak. And I'm not saying, hey, like this is what you should just be completely by yourself, alone, do it alone. Like that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's going to be seasons in your life where you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like you're doing it all by yourself. Even no matter how crazy your social network is or how crazy your life can be, or even if it's calm. We all go through certain seasons, and quite frankly, we all have those seasons where we just feel if we don't have a whole lot of support. But one thing I've learned is you cannot give up. And I hope you don't give up. Whatever you're going through, don't give up. Just because you're doing it by yourself right now doesn't mean you're going to be doing it by yourself the next year or the next year or the next year. Build yourself up, stay healthy, stay active, focus on your purpose, build a purpose, and get after it. So I hope this video resonated with you. If it did resonate with you, please let me know in the comments. Please don't forget about the free ebook. Link is in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay resilient, build wisely, lead boldly. Peace.